8 years old and has over 360 designs under his belt by now. He has many home-built designs, but most notably he has 6 aircraft that are in the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum. The Voyager, which was the first propeller aircraft to make it the entire way around circumnavigate the globe without stopping to refuel. The Global Flyer, which also did the same, but it was a jet aircraft piloted by Steve Fosse. And most recently notable, Spaceship One, which was the first civilian aircraft. It earned him the X Prize by going into outer space twice in the course of 1 week. Burt and Tanya Rutan are generous benefactors to our club. Not only are we being graced with his presence and speaking with us today, but they are also silver level sponsors of Team 585, and they have been longtime sponsors of Mojave Team 1641. Burt Rutan is a repeat winner of the Collier Trophy for his innovation in aerospace. And on this day of celebrating the inventiveness of our robotics students, it is with great pleasure that I introduce him to you to share a few words.
I want to get acquainted with everybody that designed and built this. So can you come on up here with me? I haven't got a chance to look at it yet. I was busy scarfing down breakfast. Aha, that's how it works. No, it won't work. No, maybe. How many people, raise your hand, how big is your team? How many people were doing this since January what?
8.
Wait a minute, industry can't even write a report saying we're going to do something. You guys, how many have worked on other robotic competitions? Well, of course you know how to do this, right? Okay, so is everyone in high school, the designers as well as the builders? Okay. Well, I'll tell you a little secret here. When Dean came in first, put together the U.S. first, have you folks met Dean Kamen? You have? You have? Okay, at the competition, the nationals or something? Yeah. Well, I met him a long time ago. He came out to our shop, and he was kind of fascinated in what we were doing. And at the time, he was starting work, not on the Segway, but his stand-up wheelchair. Okay, and at that time, it was just some gyro experiments and some wheels, and it kept falling over. But he had a plan to build this wheelchair that could stand up and go upstairs. You're familiar with that? Okay, anyway, Scale Composites down here in Mojave built the first chair for his first wheelchair. So it was kind of cool. Dean was showing us some real neat ways on using some of the technology that he used in his medical stuff. He had the dialysis things. Before Dean came in, a dialysis machine was about as big as a big filing cabinet. And after his inventions, it became something that would fit in a small briefcase. And he had some real neat ideas that used the basic physics of pressure and volume to pump the blood into, or excuse me, whatever you pump into some of this dialysis. I'm not a medical guy, even though I've been very sick before. But anyway, I became friends with Dean, and in fact, later in '92, I think it was, bought a helicopter from him. So you've seen him in his helicopter at his place. You watched the program called Dean of Invention? Oh, you guys have been too busy building this. You guys watched the program called Dean of Invention on, I think it's the Learning Channel, something like that. It's a real neat series, and Dean, I think once a week or so, talks about things that are all invention. But anyway, when he first put US First together, He had a science museum in his office in Manchester, New Hampshire. And when he first came up with this idea, he invited me to be a judge at the very first robotics competition. So I, among 4 or 5 other guys, judged the national championship of the first robotics team. Now, the national championship, it consisted of 3 high schools from Manchester, New Hampshire. That was it. So the first one was just the local high schools. I kind of expected there'd be some kind of a, oh, you know, brainhead kind of kids and hardly anybody would be interested. What happened, I don't know how he did this, but he had the cheerleaders from the football team cheering on their various teams. And he had the stands, well, it was in a basketball court with, you know, the big stands indoor. And the bleachers were filled, people were standing room only, they were cheering, they were yelling. It was just an amazing sports-like competition. But it was all about design, manufacturing, electronics, robotics, sensors, all this kind of stuff. And here science was being applauded like a sport. Wow! You know, and his goal, of course, is to turn around this retrograde that we've had for a long time. 2 years after the U.S. landed man on the moon, do you guys actually believe that happened? In 1969? I wasn't too much older than you guys when that happened, actually. But 2 years after America sent people to the moon, America was awarding more PhD what do you call it? Certificates, or awarding more college PhDs in science, math, and engineering. It was a lead in the entire world over everybody else. Science, math, and engineering was #1 in the world for America education. Well, now, if you look at those statistics, you'll find that America is about on the 3rd page. And a good percentage of the people that we award advanced degrees in science and math and engineering are foreign students that come to America to get that education, and they don't stay. They immediately leave and go back to their countries with that education so they can compete with America using what they learned here. So, you know, what we're doing now is simply, at least in the perspective of a guy who was very, very proud to be #1 in that sort of thing, very, very proud in the 60s to know that America was very exceptional, that we were better than anyone else. And from that perspective, to think that we would be like number 60th or 70th in the world on awarding science degrees, and that we were getting very little out of it, would have been unbelievable. Now, what Dean wanted to do is to encourage the interest and passion and excitement of engineering and design and science and math. And he spent a lot of his efforts making sure that he can do his part in making that happen. Did you guys have fun doing this?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it as much fun as, say, baseball?
Certainly more so, because I
More
actually
so.
do something.
What's that?
Certainly more so, because I actually do something.
Okay, instead of watch. Let me ask you, how many worked on it every day since January? Okay? How many hours a day?
Many. At least.
How many hours a day did you work on the average to put it together?
It's usually around 2:30 to 9.
Tim, We've got a couple of celebrities in there. First of all, I want to introduce Bob Morgan, who's the designer of the White Knight 2. He calls it Triceratops. He lives about 5 miles. Is that over there somewhere? He's a Tehachapi. I don't get up here very often. I live in Mojave, and this is a big trip for me. I have trouble finding it. Anyway, he worked very hard to make a very big airplane, weighs 70,000 pounds, and it's by far the biggest thing that Scale has done there. Anyway, there's your designer and the project engineer for it. Tim Love is the project lead of the bipod. You know what that is? Good, because you're not supposed to know. Okay, Tim, these guys have worked 3 to 6 hours a day on this machine. How many hours a day have we worked on the latest new airplane at Scale?
We've worked on it at least 12 hours a day.
Wow.
And we worked on it Christmas too, didn't we? So anyway, I'm doing something really exciting for me right now, because it's been 9 years since I personally designed an airplane that Scale has built. Back in the early days, when I founded the company in '82, and when I founded the Rutan aircraft factory that did very easy, long, easy, very big, you know, those home builds, I would design all the airplanes. You know, I wouldn't hire a guy that was smarter than me, because, you know, I thought, oh, hey, I don't want to do that. You know? So anyway, that way I got to design everything. But these guys are better than me. A lot better. When I got out of college, my basic tool to use was a slide rule. You guys probably never even seen one, so I'll bet nobody here knows how to work one. It's kind of like asking somebody how do you work a buggy whip. Okay? But anyway, the kid's getting out of college now, and we generally hire people right out of college. They're really fire breathers. They have so much better tools than I had when I went to college back in the '60s. And it's just amazing what they're able to do. And I finally kind of let go about, actually it was before Spaceship One, and said, hey, you guys design the airplanes now. I'll just, you know, help you. Or I won't do drawings, I'll just come along and pee on your drawing.